Hey guys, so it is now officially September. Happy September, everybody. It's September 1st, a wonderful month of the year. Before we get into this video, just quickly, I am probably going to mention this over the course of the next few videos. I will actually be away. I'm coming back to the US for a few weeks in September. Got some personal stuff to deal with. So I'm actually going to be in the US from the 2nd. Actually, this is the wrong year. From the 2nd to the 20th, I will be away. So that's about 3 weeks. But I will have my mobile setup ready to go. I'll still be recording videos, still be posting every single day, but the mic quality will be significantly worse than usual. But the audio, besides that, the in-game audio, the video, everything else should be exactly the same. When we do face cam stuff, if I need to do face cam stuff, which I anticipate I will be, because we're probably going to get a release while I'm in the US. It'll be, you know, the meme front-facing camera, because that's the camera I have on my laptop. So that's my mobile setup. We will have that going on for the majority of September, just unavoidable stuff. So for last year, what I like to do with these videos, of course, as you guys are now aware, because this is the 9th video I've done here, I like to go through what exactly happened in the prior year for September, and then we can kind of like extrapolate what's going to happen this year. So in 2024, September, on the 4th, we had a free blue Bojack and purple Turtle's unique equip. So I don't really anticipate anything crazy on the 4th, or I guess the first week of September. In fact, I think the next 2 weeks will probably not be very exciting. The 11th last year, we had Zenkai Red Tapion. I remember this in particular because this was like the deadest week ever. Zenkai Red Tapion, and that's it. That's all we had on this. It was so bad. That's what we had here. Okay. On the 17th, we had a reveal and stuff, which showed us the Turles Crusher Core characters. So it was Almond, Days, Cacao, and then Raisin and Lakase. And then it was LF Tree of My Goku, who then released on the 18th. I guess we'll talk about that later, but that's what happened here, okay? Then the next week, this is where things can get a little bit strange, and this year in particular, it even is worse because we have like the final day of the month is the day before the next reset day. So it's even a little bit more off kilter than it was last year. But what happened last year is on the 27th, which was a Friday, we had a social media teaser that's, I think I actually have it pulled up here, the exact wording. New character info announcement. A new Ultra character is joining the fight soon. Check our official social media tomorrow at 2 a.m. UTC for the reveal. Have a guess about who it might be? Leave it in the comments. And then obviously it ended up being Ultra Turles, but they first made a post about that on the 27th. They actually revealed the character on the 28th. It was a social media reveal. And then the character released on the 30th. So we haven't seen them do this in quite a while, but this is an example of them releasing a character at the end of the month instead of releasing the character the last reset day of the month. So there's a good chance that could happen here again. So that's what happened last year in September. This year, I don't know if things are going to differ too much, but the only thing that we know is going to be different is we know that the supporter mechanic will be introduced this month. Now, according to the way that they worded this, I should have pulled this up beforehand, but let me just grab this. It's the post, yeah, supporters arriving soon. Let's see here. The new supporters expansion is coming to Legends battles. Supporters are characters who appear during battle that support you in the fight, blah, 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 blah. Supporters are planned to appear in the summons for new Legends Limited characters. The summons for new Legends Limited characters, with the first ones scheduled to be added in September. Okay. So I think what will probably happen here is based off of the schedule last year, we got our LF character who dropped on the 18th. That was LF Tree of Might Goku. So if we go by that same timeline, this year we should get the LF drop on the 17th. Okay. So that is what I think will most likely happen. And the reason why they decided to do it here So there's two possible landing spots for an LF. It was either the 11th or it was the 18th. The reason why they decided to drop it on the 18th is because they dropped the Ultra at the end of the month on the 30th, right? And the main reason why they do that is because September every year happens to end up like this, where the last day of the month is like really in a weird spot, like Monday the 30th. And by the way, on the 30th here, when Ultra Turles released, they also put the free-to-play Super Saiyan 3 Goku in the data ahead of time. That purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku then released, if we want to go ahead a month here, that purple Super Saiyan 3 Goku, even though he was in the data on the 30th, he actually then released on October 2nd, and that led into the Majin Buu Saga campaign for October, where we got Gotenks and Ultra Majin Vegeta. So it's always like a weird month here, September, because the last day of the month is like in a really awkward position. So if we end up getting another character release here, I could see them dropping the LF character here, but it is possible. It is possible they end up dropping the character here, the first LF character, and then we get a second banner in the month drop here instead of here. It's going to depend on whether they want to drop the second banner here or here, right? That's just what it comes down to. My money would be on 17th and 30th being the two drops for the month, but we'll see. But for the third, again, last year for the first reset day, we got a free blue Bojack and the, the purple Turles unique equipment. So we know we're heading into a GT celebration. I might as well pull up the GT tag here. Let's go ahead and open up GT. Just got the Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. We got the Tag 4 unique equip, which I think is a pretty good equip. Makes them a lot better for sure. This first week of September, I think at the very least we'll be getting a free-to-play character. That's usually how they always start these campaigns for the month. And then instead of us getting a unique equipment, because we just got one for the Tag 4s, I think what's more likely is a 1% Zenkai. So if I had to pick some candidates here for a 1% Zenkai Awakening, I'd probably say Purple Android 17 is my most wanted one. And then after him, I think probably something like Majub would be a good one. I really didn't like the design of this Majub when he dropped, just because it was just a super annoying character to fight. But he could not only be a help for GT, but also Fusion Warriors, right? They've been kind of secretly buffing Fusion Warriors. Well, not even secretly, it's been pretty obvious, right? They gave... They gave the Platinum equipment to Super Vegito, then we had Kefla, and then they gave us the equipment for Red Super Gogeta. They could just kind of continue to sprinkle in buffs for Fusion Warriors, and a good way to do that, I guess, just in the middle of this GT celebration is to buff Zenkai buff Majub. Another character they could do is this mega old green Super Saiyan Goku, who was a menace back when he dropped. They could do like Nova Shenron, Ice Shenron. I'm not super high on them buffing Rildo. Let me just see here. Yeah, this is why. It's because his Z ability is terrible. I don't think the GT tag even existed when this guy dropped initially, is why he only buffs red. This is honestly a character that don't even need to Zenkai Awaken ever. Just kind of like leave him out of the game. But this Goku could be a good pick. I think Nova and Ice could potentially be good picks as well, just because they have good Z abilities. Majub is a good one. Purple 17 is a good one. Like, we have a lot of options here actually for GT. So we'll have to wait and see what they want to do. But I think this first week of September, the 3rd, which is coming up soon, so tomorrow we actually should get some kind of thing on social media, I would imagine. But a free-to-play character, probably announced tomorrow on social media, and also potentially a 1% Zenkai would be what I would assume is happening here. And then the next week, so last year we had, yeah, this was like the legendary, probably the most dead week in the year of 2024, honestly. This week here was the most dead week we had the entire year, probably. This was Red Tapion Zenkai Awakening. That's it. Nothing else. So, would they do 2 weeks in a row with a 1% Zenkai? Why not? Why not do that? And then, I don't know, like, what else could they even do? Drop a unique equipment for, like, Spirit Bomb Goku? What if they just Zenkai'd this guy? This blue Spirit Bomb Goku? That could be interesting. It really would hurt this guy a lot, actually. Instead of helping this guy, I think it would actually hurt him more than it helps him, this Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. But I find it a little strange that they would give the Tag 4s a unique equipment and then, like, not even touch the Spirit Bomb Goku. I guess they could just give him a unique equip, too. So maybe they do, like, Majub Zenkai Universal Spirit Bomb Goku unique equipment that might be what they want to do. but potentially 2 weeks in a row of 1% Zenkais, maybe 1% Zenkai unique equip. I don't know. And the main reason why is because there's no like platinum equips they could do. We already have a platinum equipment for Omega Shenron. There's no way they'd give a platinum equipment to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta yet. And that's all the ultras that exist on the team. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because GT is in a weird position. They dropped like every GT character in 2024. So it's like we're in no man's land with those characters because they're not old enough to where we can give them Zenkais. Like, they could, I guess, just Zenkai the Spirit Bomb Goku, but like he'd be one of the newest characters ever Zenkai'd. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4 LFs for GT, all released in 2024. You know what else they could do, actually? They could give this guy, or they could give Green Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta a second unique equip. What about that? What about a second unique? This could be interesting, actually. A second unique equipment for the yellow Super Saiyan 4 Goku could be really good. You know why? He has a very rare mechanic in the cover rescue ability. Where is that? I think I have to. Well, he has it normally, but let's see. Yeah, here we go. Receives 0 damage when changing cover. Activates once, activates during assists. This is the cover rescue mechanic that was introduced to the game by, I believe it was Green Instant Transmission Goku, like way back in the day. Yellow Cell has this. LF Green Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 Goku has this. So it's a mechanic that exists on a decent amount of units, but the reason why this would be really good is because this would actually work really well with Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, look at this. He has buff cancellation. So we could have a situation where Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta on the battlefield cancels the enemy's buffs when they use an Awaken card, Ultimate card, Blue card, or Rising Rush. So if the enemy goes for a Rising Rush on Vegeta, Vegeta will actually remove their cover null, which would then allow you to go into this Goku and use the cover rescue and just dodge the rush for free. So this Goku could actually be a pretty interesting candidate for a potential second unique equip, right? We've seen multiple characters now who have received 2 unique equipments. Yellow Full Power Frieza has, and then the Saiyan Saga Piccolo has. I don't think there's another character that has, unless I'm... Actually, no. You know who else has? Red Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I believe, actually has, right? Because he has the Awakened unique equip. He has the one that dropped last... no, I think that one dropped... I think it was in February of this year. That was with the Cell Saga stuff. So yeah, there's a few LFs that have 2 unique equips. So they could do that for this Goku, or they could just do it for this Gogeta if they wanted to. But those are other ways they could help the GT team here. So again, like something like that over here, something like that over here. And then I think what will happen is we will have most likely a Legends information drop here. This will be where, I believe, finally, the supporter mechanic is introduced into the game and implemented into the game. We already know Dende is going to be one of the support characters that's introduced, but I expect them to also bring out at least 5 other characters to the game at the same time, because we know that there are 6 support slots in the support deck. So I would hope that they have at least 6 supporters ready to go when the mechanic drops. You can fill out your entire support deck. I wouldn't be surprised if they had even 8 or something that dropped initially, so that everybody would have, not the same support deck. But that's what will happen here. And those characters will release alongside whatever LF character we get on the 17th. I definitely expect an LF character here. This will be a GT buff. And when we talk about what LF characters could we potentially see for GT, I think there are potentially a few options. There is one that is jumping out to me as just almost how the hell do we not have this in the game yet? And I've mentioned this many times before, but it is the Super Saiyan. It is this name, not this regular Super Saiyan 4 Goku. It's this name, Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku, specifically versus Omega Shenron. Right? It's actually this character. This is Shadow Dragon Saga GT. Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. The interesting thing about this is we actually don't have a Baby Saga version of this. This form of Super Saiyan 4 Goku also exists in the Baby Saga, and that's not in the game. So that could be one for sure. But there's also the one from the Omega Shenron fight is the one I'm thinking of. And it's the one of this character who does the Dragon Fist versus Omega. The Dragon Fist versus Omega Shenron does not exist in the game. It's not animated in the game. So that's like a huge omission from GT. GT, I mean, not to hate on GT, but GT has very few hype moments that are worthy of like big celebration characters, LFs, Ultras. This is one of those moments, and it's not in the game. So this is a pretty glaring omission, I think, for GT. So that is a option here. Another option is the, where is it? This Goku. We could do this Goku, but it would be like a Goku and 18 character, potentially a tag unit. It could also be a preparation mode character. We haven't seen that in a long time. The last character to have the preparation mode was the tag Gammas in the 5th anniversary. But it's the base form Goku who does the Dragon Fist versus Super 17 next to Android 18. So it's kind of like Android 18 is distracting and Super 17 with her Ki Blasts. And essentially what happens is she stun locks Super 17 into continuously needing to absorb the Ki Blasts, and it opens him up for Goku to do the Dragon Fist and just, you know, kill him with the Dragon Fist. So we have this Goku in the game, and we have the animation in the game, but it is super, super old. This Dragon Fist right here, it is mega old, and 18 is not part of the card. And like, this is a pretty big moment, honestly. This Dragon Fist Goku. This is the end of the Super 17 saga. So there's this Goku. There's also I'm actually surprised like no game has done this. There's also like the self-destructing Super Saiyan 4 Goku who fought Super 17. That's not in like any game. And speaking of Super 17, we also potentially could do a new Super 17 where it's a Android 17 and Hellfighter 17 who synchro gauge into Super 17. I'm not sure how high up on the priority list that is, but that's an option. There's always going to be potentially like a Super Baby 1 who transforms into Super Baby 2 as an LF. Super Baby 1 is not represented in Dragon Ball Legends. Super Baby 1 is not in the game. There's no Super Baby 1 model in the game. So him potentially being added to the game for the first time as an LF character who transforms into Super Baby 2 could be could be something we see. And then a transforming Sen Shenron into Omega Shenron is also not in the game. So we could just kind of like redo all of these main GT villains, but have them be transforming versions of these villains. That could definitely be something that we see as well. So there are quite a few options for GT. My number one pick, I guess, for the first major character would definitely have to be the Dragon Fist that Super Saiyan 4 Goku does against Omega. If it's not that, probably the Dragon Fist against Super 17. That's going to be like a tag character or maybe a preparation mode of Kid Goku plus Android 18. And then we could kind of revisit these villains too. But I mean, like, we just got these guys last year, so I don't know how quickly they want to turn around and do new versions of these guys. But I could realistically see any of those characters coming on the 17th alongside some new support characters. Okay, so then finally, we have the last week of September here. There's two ways they could do this. They could either drop stuff here, and that will be the last drop of the month. And the main reason why I think this is going to be the case, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I mentioned earlier that I thought it was going to be the 17th and the 30th, but man, I'm actually going to change my opinion. And the reason why is because I just remembered this. Let me pull the news up here. No, I don't want to go to the Majin Vegeta banner. Thank you very much. Where this? No, isn't there like a GT? Here we go. Boost up GT campaign. The reason why is because of this. This exchange shop ends on September 24th. And then the adventures end on the 24th. This typically indicates the end of the celebration. So if the celebration is going to end on the 24th, I don't see them potentially releasing another character for the GT celebration here. It makes no sense. So I think what we actually might be looking at here is we might be looking at the LF drop here and whatever the second banner would be here instead of here and here. I think I'm gonna change my opinion. My opinion is, again, like free character plus Zenkai here, LF character here plus supporters released on the 10th. Maybe like unique equip, Zenkai, you know, kind of like a filler week here on the 17th all the way through the 23rd. And then the 24th is going to be whatever the second banner is. But this would be part of the next campaign, I guess. I'm actually not 100% sure how they do this. This would be the next campaign because this campaign ends on the 24th. Right? The GT adventures go away here. The exchange shop goes away on the 24th. So this is very similar, actually, to what we saw last month in August, where the LOE campaign, everything went away here, and then we essentially just segued into a brand new campaign with the GT stuff, where Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta just dropped right here. So I'm actually thinking what's most likely is we get an LF character here, and then whatever we get on the 24th is actually probably just not going to be related to GT at all. It's probably going to be related to whatever the next campaign is going to be. And by the way, the reason why this is like this, and the reason why the schedule is so out of whack with like the last week of each month kind of being separated from the rest of the month, is because for whatever reason, this LOE campaign was only for 3 weeks. Makes no sense. They completely screwed up the entire schedule by doing this. Right? The LOE campaign was this. Basically, right? And then instead of the LOE campaign going until September 3rd, which is what every other campaign ever released has done, they stopped it a week short, released Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, and now we've got the GT campaign, where this GT campaign now is probably only going to run to here. So I think we're only going to get one banner, actually. Well, I guess one more banner for GT, because we already have the Vegeta one. And I think it's going to drop here with the supporters. And then we'll have filler week here. New campaign on the 24th, I think, is what will happen. So there we go. A little bit of an out of whack month here, September. I mean, that's what happened last year too, with like the last day of the month landing on like a weird day here. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what kind of GT buffs and characters you guys want to see for September. And let me know what you think about the timing of these releases. Do you also think we're going to be getting some kind of like unrelated banner on the 24th? Like we could have, you know, GT LF character here, filler week here, and then we get to the 23rd and there's like a social media reveal for, I don't know, LFTN. LF 22nd World Tournament TN drops on the 24th. I don't know. Just making stuff up, but let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.